Hello guys, welcome back to Comic Book Cafe, and this time around we're going to talk about Captain Marvel and the Carol Corps, which is really interesting because it's kind of a mix of modern, but if you call World War II-ish style a comic book, which isn't very much, happens very much these days. So the point of this obviously is Carol, of course, is Captain Marvel, and her Carol Corps are basically, they're training here, and I guess they're training at the beginning of the comic book, doing a lot of training and stuff. She could fly the rest of these, more modern but look kind of old planes. Like they're modern planes, but still kind of have a little, old style of World War II in them a little bit. But anyway, they're flying around, doing exercise training. They're in Hala Field, and I guess they come across. They call it the Hydra Empire Wall, I guess it is, and they see the squadrons there, and they say they're gonna go proceed, and they're gonna okay. And just as they're going to, the Thor car comes over and just totally destroys whoever the enemies were, and she just tells them to go back to base. There's nothing left to see. And as they're back in base, looking, one of the Carol Corps, it talks about what's in the sky. Right before Captain Marvel leaves where the fight had taken place, the Thor comes out, and her name's Kit, and clearly they knew her when she was a kid, and now she's all grown up. She's a Thor, for the Hala Field Ford. Designated Thor, they call her. So, a little in person with them, talking for a couple of scenes, and then when they go back, she tells them what, meeting her, and you see, one of them start to question the world, because the point of this reality, what they're all told, is, Doom makes the sky, and the light goes away at nighttime so they can rest, if you can't go into space because there's the void, they believe there's a void, that there's just a void out there, you can't do it. So she brings up, Captain Marvel's like, you could be questioned for this, and she goes to her commander. They're talking about stuff, and she openly starts to question a couple things, and then he sends her on a, hey, you need to go there's some rogue Ultrons out there. We need you guys to go destroy them. And she's kind of shocked by this. I guess she kind of figures she kind of understands that he's lying to her, but she doesn't. And so they go out there to this mission, to this boat, to destroy it. And just as she gets there to do rear reconnaissance, she sees there's a human there, and one of her teammates shoots the boat and blows it up, and she saves the guy, or they shoot missiles at the boat. She goes to save him, or goes in to save him, and an explosion happens, and you think she's gone. And then they, of course, phone back to her superiors, and he's like, it's the will of Doom, return to base. So they do, and you see that she saves him and gets out of the water, and she comes back to base, saying, I didn't know where else to go, and with the guy, she says he's just in shock, but he's all right. And she goes, I'm going to find what's on the other side of the world, who wants to go, and all the other lies they're telling me, who wants to go with me, and they say they'll go with her. And that's the setup to the series, that they're going to find out really what's on the other side of the world, really what's, she wants to find out what's, the void is real or not. That's the premise of the book. A nice long setup to it, but again, not a bad book. Basic, more of a beginning, because you have to have a beginning to a series, and this was a nice little beginning, to a different world. And that's why now I think why Secret Wars is kind of fun to read, is because it's different. Because it's characters in different situations you've never seen before, and we'll see how it all goes when Secret Wars is over. But it was kind of like modernish, but old school, like World War II-ish style at the same time. Enjoyable. It was enjoyable because you didn't know what was going to happen next, because you don't know the world, you don't know, you don't know the characters, so you don't know the motivations. But overall, I enjoyed this book. So what do you think about Captain Marvel and the Carol Corps? Did you read it? Did you like it? Are you going to check it out, or are you just like, I'm not interested in this kind of book? Again, I call it a very enjoyable book if you want to sit down and read. A different twist on new characters, especially if you're a Captain Marvel fan, obviously. Obviously a must read. Anyway, guys, like always, thanks for watching. I'll put up another comic book review soon. Later.